At least one English language learner can be found in almost 75% of the classrooms in the United States, and approximately one-tenth of the students found in public schools are culturally and linguistically diverse. When teaching our English language learners, educators cannot simply focus on the academic content and the student's ability to function in a new school culture, but they must also focus on how these new elements interact with the existing knowledge base of the learner. Language learners enter the classroom with world, linguistic, and social knowledge. They know the purpose of language and the different settings in which language occurs. This background knowledge, their home culture, constantly influences their learning. This video was created for EDU 587, Communicating with Immigrants, and its purpose is to, first of all, highlight the culture of the Dominican Republic, and then this cultural foundation will be used to explore the idea of culturally responsive schooling and its impact on education. Hispaniola, which is the second largest island of the Antilles chain, is shared by the Dominican Republic and Haiti, with the DR occupying 2/3 of the island. This independent republic can be found where the Caribbean Sea meets the Atlantic Ocean. Duarte Peak is the highest mountain in the Caribbean and can be found in the Central Mountain Range. The southern slopes of the Septentrional mountain range ends in the Cibao Valley, which reaches from the Manzanillo Bay to the Samana Peninsula. The main river systems are the Yaque del Norte and the Camuyuna systems, and the country's largest natural lake is Lake Enriquillo, which is the lowest point in the West Indies. The most commonly spoken language in the Dominican Republic is Spanish, with the most common dialect being Dominican Spanish. This dialect finds its roots in Caribbean Spanish, which is itself a combination of the Andalusian and Canarian dialects found in Spain. Words from the Arawak and Taíno languages, as well as words no longer used in modern Spanish, are also a part of this dialect. The Taíno are the indigenous people of the Dominican Republic. The group is of South American origin, and the people who populated Hispaniola were known as the classic Taíno. When Columbus arrived in 1492, there were 5 territories on the island, and each was led by a cacique or chieftain. Columbus and his men enslaved the Taíno people, and with that culture all but disappearing in 1518 in the country's first smallpox epidemic. France gained control of the colony from Spain in 1795, and its rule from then on was tumultuous at best, with Haiti, the Dominicans, and Spain all vying for control. The current president of this representative democracy is Danilo Medina Sanchez, who has been in power since 2012. Roman Catholicism is the religion of approximately 75% of the population, with 20% identifying as Protestant. The first Catholic Mass ever to be held in the Americas occurred on January 6, 1494, in La Isabela, which is now the Diocese of Puerto Plata. The Mass was celebrated by Father Bernardo Boyle and his 12 other priests. This Mass is believed to have initiated the spread of Catholicism throughout the New World. Another religious belief is Dominican Voodoo, or Las 21 Divisiones. This belief combines Catholicism, Yoruba, Benin, Haitian Voodoo, and the religion practiced by the Taíno. Some practitioners of this faith are not public about it and prefer to simply identify as Catholic. Those whose belief is deeper will publicly share that they are voodoo practitioners, but stress its connectedness to the church. Both groups prefer to call their religion Las 21 Divisiones or Los Misterios to keep it separate from its Haitian counterpart in any negative connotation. The foods of the Dominican Republic are as diverse and complex as its population, but there are a few dishes that stand out as the most popular. First of all, there is sancocho, which is a 7-meat stew. The meat is combined with plantains and root vegetables, which makes it very thick and rich. Plantains are again used to create mango. The plantains are mashed and served with fried salami, eggs, and cheese. And this combination is called las tres golpes, or the three strikes, and is usually served for breakfast. Arroz blanco, or white rice, is the foundation of Dominican cuisine and is a part of many other common dishes, such as la bandera dominicana. This typical luncheon meal consists of rice, stewed beans, and either braised chicken or beef. Dominican rice must be cooked so that each grain remains separate and a perfect layer of concon forms on the bottom of the pan. This layer is not stuck to the pan or burned. It is simply crispy and golden. A common rite of passage in the Dominican Republic for young women is the quinceañera. Historically, around the age of 15, Catholic women had to decide if they were going to either enter a convent or begin their training to be a wife and mother. This time of choosing evolved into the modern quinceañera. The Dominican quinceañera is much more traditional than its Latin American counterparts. It begins in a Catholic church with a mass that bestows the blessing of the Lord on the young lady and gives her the opportunity to give thanks in return. A party follows where she and her escort, along with 14 other couples, progress through traditional dances, but the most significant is the waltz with her father. Another significant tradition is when the girl's father places her first pair of high heels on her feet, signifying that she is now a woman. Dominican weddings are similar to those in the United States with the addition of a few traditions which can vary based on the bride's faith and personal preferences. Padrinos and madrinas are the godparents of the wedding and can be the mother of the groom, the father of the bride, or close family friends. These two also come forward at the end of the ceremony to act as witnesses. The flower girls and ring bearer are sometimes accompanied by another young boy who carries the arras or wedding coins down the aisle on a silver tray. These coins are given by the priest to the groom, who then gives them to the bride to symbolize how he will provide for her and their family's future. As you have seen in the discussion of quinceañeras and weddings, Dominicans value family more than anything, and the inclusion of extended family is even extended into pregnancy and childbirth. Natural childbirth is preferred in the Dominican Republic, but quite often cesarean sections are promoted by the doctors. After the baby is born, the new mother must stay home for 40 days, which is called the cuarentena, to rest, heal, and learn parenting skills from her mother, grandmother, and even siblings who have children. There are 3 stages of education in the Dominican Republic. Children from the ages of 3 to 6 attend the nivel inicial or preschool, with only the last year being mandatory. The nivel básico or primary school is compulsory, but only until age 14. But this mandate is not strictly enforced. It is not mandatory to attend nivel medio or even secondary school, but after students receive that diploma, they may attend a university. So, if one student's background reflects a culture as rich as has been discussed, How does an educator address the needs of a classroom filled with cultures just as diverse? The concept of culturally responsive schooling purports that culture is identity, and to negate the cultural background of a student is to negate the student as an individual. All students deserve to be shown the same respect through clearly stated and rigorous expectations. Celebrating individuality fosters inclusivity, which is the foundation of the culturally responsive classroom. This inclusivity should be a daily instructional focus throughout the United States as our population becomes more and more diverse. Our students' families, native languages, and background experiences all have a role in the culturally responsive classroom. In How the ELL Brain Learns, David A. Sousa states that the greater the social distance between the learner's native culture and that of the language being learned, the more difficulty the learner experiences. Teachers, therefore, must learn the cultures of their students just as these students are learning the culture of their teachers. A student's language acquisition is strongly influenced by their home, community, and how fluent they were in their first language, both socially as well as academically. Social language develops before academic language, so educators can often be misled by a student's conversational abilities. To address this issue, professional development opportunities should be made available. Educators need to be informed about the diversity of English language learners, as well as be informed of the misconceptions about the language acquisition process itself. Other topics, including co-teaching models, the WIDA language proficiency standards, and the usage of technology, should also be explored throughout professional development. To ensure culturally responsive schooling, only qualified ELL educators should be employed. Teachers of English language learners need to be knowledgeable of how the basic components for ELL instruction interact. A student's native language must be developed to facilitate the acquisition of the English language. Multicultural competencies are built while progress in language and literacy skills are assessed in both the native language and in English. Qualified educators are proficient in monitoring methods, including formal and informal assessments. They then use the resulting assessment data to inform instructional decisions and program planning. Dual language proficiency is also beneficial, as is the knowledge of the nature of bilingualism and the process of becoming bilingual. Finally, qualified ELL educators know the differences between a student's native language and English. They can integrate language content into the core curriculum, and they can employ positive responses to diverse behaviors. Finally, being culturally responsive and welcoming to ELLs, their families, and their community is essential for success in today's diverse classrooms. A family night held at the beginning of the school year can help to establish shared expectations and begin a dialogue for suggestions and support. Invitations should be easily understood by all families and express how their participation is valued. Food, childcare, and translators are provided. The agenda is clear, and the evening should begin and end on time. Examples of student work are displayed throughout the evening, and the importance of communication and attending parent conferences is emphasized. An educational activity completed by each family while they are at the school increases the chance that they will complete similar activities when they are sent home throughout the year. The foundation of a volunteer program can be created at family night as well. Not all families have the same educational backgrounds, so a variety of opportunities are needed. Would a parent feel more comfortable helping with math or reading? Or would providing class treats or organizing events work better? Simply discussing the importance of school, visiting the library with their children, encouraging reading, and regularly asking their students what was learned each day are invaluable ways parents can contribute to the education of their child.